This is a message to youth and young adults. I want to talk about why it's important to stay informed on what's happening in our community. Hamitakiapi, Cheyenne Ironman Imakiapia, Wipazoka Wakpa Hedwatia. And I'm 27 years old, so I wanted to share this message with anyone who's around my age. Could be younger or older, doesn't matter. This message is for you. Right now, there are several laws being developed. And as you know, since 2014, Sioux Valley became self-governing after 20 years of negotiating with Canada and the province of Manitoba. That was a huge first step for our community. However, it's not the only step, and I don't say that to downplay any of the accomplishments that have been made so far. It's just that we're in the next step, which is just as important. Now we're in a critical step where we must develop and put into place all of the policies, laws, regulations that transform the overall goal of being self-governing and putting it into action. Laws are important because they provide guidelines about who, what, where, when, why, how, what you can or can't do, how decisions are made, how they're carried out, who's involved in the decision. And this is really important for you to know or understand because until we make all of the laws in the areas that we have jurisdiction over, those areas, and the jurisdiction just means that we have the right to make a law about a certain thing. For example, our membership. We have jurisdiction to decide who our members are and make rules about that, which is really important for our sovereignty as a nation. But until we make those laws, we're still effectively under the Indian Act, which is exactly what we're trying to get away from. That's the goal of self-government, is to get away from the Indian Act and to create our own laws. So we're in this really important step where we need community input to develop these laws. I urge you all to pay attention to what's going on in the community. Read the newsletter. The monthly newsletter gets delivered to each home. There's information packages that are sent out to each home. They're mailed out to off-reserve members, so make sure that you have all of your information updated so that you can receive those as well. All of this information is also on the website, and you can usually find a link to it on our social media pages as well. We have lots of videos. These COVID times, it's been really challenging to try and get people together and to share information and have these conversations in person. The committees are full of members, community members, that are also responsible to share information and to relay information back to the community. So if you know somebody who sits on a committee, ask them what they're working on, and they should tell you. And you can always reach out and ask self-government staff too for information or to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Don't feel embarrassed about asking. Laws are complicated, they're complex. The process for developing them isn't always neat, especially right now with COVID. They've been working on these laws since 2009. Take advantage of every opportunity. Every time there's an engagement session, we want you there. We do our best to make them informative, fun. We try to provide food at every one of them or door prizes. So make sure you take advantage of those opportunities to ask questions and to learn about what's happening. It's important. This is your community, and we want your feedback and input and everything. And if you're around my age, then you probably voted for self-government. And your vote now in these laws, or towards ratifying these laws, is just as important now as it was then. So make sure you vote.